But one day, a greedy dragon named Zevrak flew in from the mountains and drank the clouds dry. He stole the rain and locked it inside a crystal orb he wore around his neck, hoarding storms in his cave high above the sky. Without rain, the crops withered, lakes turned to dust, and people prayed to the old gods for help. A young shepherd boy named Kiro climbed the cliffs to face the dragon. He had no sword, only a flute carved from willow wood. When he reached Zevrak, he did not fight. He played a song, soft and mournful, the kind that sounded like rivers used to. The melody stirred something deep in Zevrak's ancient heart. He remembered when he once soared through thunderclouds and bathed in the mist of waterfalls. A single tear fell from the dragon's eye and struck the crystal orb, shattering it. The rain returned. Zevrak vanished into the clouds, and to this day, whenever it rains after a long drought, the people say, "The dragon remembers." Follow, like, share. The last ember of Urain. In a forgotten valley nestled between frost-tipped mountains and a forest older than memory, there lived the last of the flame-born dragons, Urain. He was a creature of living fire and ancient wisdom, with scales that shimmered like burning coals and eyes as deep and calm as a midnight sky. Urain had not flown in 100 years. The world had changed. Castles had crumbled. The kingdoms he once soared above were long gone, and people no longer sang songs of dragons. They feared them, or worse, had forgotten them. Urain's fire had dimmed, not from age, but from sorrow. One winter night, a girl named Lyra stumbled into the valley, guided only by an old map and a story her grandmother once told her. When the world has lost its warmth, seek the dragon who sleeps in the frost. She came not to slay the dragon, but to ask for its help. Her village, far to the south, was dying under an unnatural snow that never stopped falling. She found Urain lying still beside a frozen lake, his breath faint, his wings draped like tattered banners. But his eyes opened when he sensed her. "You are not afraid," he rumbled, voice like the cracking of distant thunder. "I am," she admitted, stepping forward, "but I'm more afraid of what happens if I do nothing." Urain studied her. Most who came to him in ages past brought swords or chains, not hope. But something stirred in the dragon's chest, a flicker. "A dragon's fire is not only heat," Urain said. "It is memory, it is life. I have kept mine hidden, thinking the world had no use for it." "Then share it," Lyra said. "Let the world remember." The dragon rose. His wings spread, scattering frost in a spiral storm. He let out a single roar, not of rage, but of awakening, and the flame returned to him in full. The snow in the valley melted in seconds. Light pulsed in the sky. Urain flew once more. He carried Lyra back to her village, fire trailing behind him like a comet. The snow melted where he passed. Crops unfroze. People emerged in awe. They did not forget him again. And in the centuries that followed, every winter festival began with a flame, and a story of a girl who sought a dragon not to conquer, but to remember, and of a dragon who gave the world back its warmth. Like, follow, share.
The Last Emberwing. In the high, snow-laced peaks of the Everan Mountains, where the clouds skimmed the earth and the wind howled with forgotten names, lived the last of the Emberwings, a dragon named Vaelga. Vaelga was not like the fire-spitting horrors whispered of in taverns. His scales shimmered with hues of burning copper and dust gold, and his eyes held the sorrow of centuries. For hundreds of years, he had slept beneath the icebound crag, dreaming of firelit skies and a time when dragons soared beside humans, not above them in fear. Long ago, the Emberwings were guardians, not monsters. They bound themselves to the kingdom of Solara, defending it from creatures of shadow and storm. But as humans forgot their old pacts and grew greedy for dragonbone and flame crystals, the Emberwings were hunted to near extinction. Now Vaelga remained, the last ember of a dying fire. One storm-racked night, as lightning cracked across the sky, a young girl named Alyra climbed the crag with a lantern in hand. She was no knight, no sorcerer, only the daughter of a stargazer who believed the dragons were not all gone. "I know you're up there," she whispered into the wind, voice trembling but sure. "The stars told me the fire still lives." Her lantern glowed not with oil, but with a flicker of old magic, the last spark of her father's life. It pulsed warmly in the cold, a heartbeat in the dark, and Vaelga stirred. With a groan of stone and ash, he emerged from the mountain. Wings like storm clouds unfurled, casting shadows over Alyra. His breath steamed in the cold, and when he spoke, his voice was a low earthquake. "Why do you seek the last?" Alyra knelt, lantern held high. not to take from you. And how she had nothing to offer but her belief. Valga watched her for a long time. Then he did something no dragon had done in centuries. He bowed. With that gesture, ancient magic stirred again. The lantern flared, and flames wrapped around Elira like wings. She did not burn, she changed. Her voice became wind, her eyes fire, her heart a forge. Valga had chosen a rider. Together, they soared into the storm, dragon and girl, flame and hope. And from the high peaks of Ivera, the fire returned not as wrath, but as a beacon. And so, the legend of the Emboing lived on, not as a tale of fear, but of trust reborn. Like follow share.
The lightning dragon of Stormspire. High above the jagged cliffs of Stormspire Mountain, where clouds never cleared and thunder never slept, lived a dragon born of storm and sky. Valrix, the lightning dragon. Valrix was not like other dragons. His scales shimmered silver blue, charged with crackling energy. His wings left trails of sparks, and when he roared, the heavens answered with bolts of lightning. For centuries, he guarded the Heartstorm Crystal, a relic of pure storm energy that pulsed with the fury of the skies. One fateful night, a band of sky pirates in storm-proof airships ascended the mountain to steal the Heartstorm. They brought nets of enchanted steel and cannons that fired silence runes, but they underestimated Valrix. As the pirates neared the peak, the storm thickened. Valrix soared from his cave, a living tempest. Lightning danced from his wings, striking ships from the sky. He moved faster than thought, a blur of fury and light, the sky lit with battle. When the last ship fell in flames to the sea below, Valrix let out a final roar, echoing through every mountain pass and village below. From that day on, no one dared challenge the lightning dragon. But sometimes, during summer storms, children claimed to see his silhouette streak across the clouds, watching, waiting, guarding the storm. And the mountain still crackles with his power, like Follow Share. The last rainmaker, in a quiet mountain village plagued by drought, the people spoke in hushed tones about an ancient spirit, a water dragon named Leora, who once lived in the lake hidden above the clouds. Long ago, Leora brought the rains each spring, painting the earth green with her glistening breath. But when the villagers built metal towers and drained the wetlands to mine silver, they stopped honoring the lake. Leora vanished and the rains with her. Years passed and the lake dried to mist. One day, a child named Mina, curious, stubborn, and kind, climbed the forbidden trail with a wooden flute she had carved herself. She played a song her grandmother taught her, a lullaby for the rain. As the final note lingered in the wind, a shimmer stirred in the mist. From the clouds, Leora rose, her body made of flowing rivers and sapphire scales. Her eyes, ancient and sad, watched Mina. "You remember the song," the dragon said. Mina bowed. "Please go, our crops are dying. My brother is sick. We need you." Leora hovered, silent. Then she spoke. "I will return, but only if the village remembers the balance. Give back what was taken, restore the wetland. Plant trees where none stand," Mina nodded. And when she returned, she told them all what she had seen. It took seasons of labor. The towers came down, the rivers were unchained. And one spring morning, rain fell. Not a storm, but a gentle blessing. In the clouds above, Leora danced again. And the village reborn never forgot her son like Share Follow.